five-time winner this season, 2022 NTT INDYCAR Series season, just a couple points out of the championship. Josef Newgarden qualifying second. He'll start seventh. How close were you at the end of the day, Josef?
Super close. I just didn't execute my last lap very well and had two big mistakes. So definitely caught us out. Didn't give ourselves a good opportunity to get the pole there, but it's a good strong run for everyone at Team Penske. I think we're all pretty satisfied with that. Have three cars in the top three. We've been that way all weekend for the most part, and it's a testament to our team. They've done a great job. We were here last week. They worked really hard, all the mechanics and the engineers. So it's very gratifying, I think, for everybody to have this speed on our cars.
Just a general thought. Again, we talked a little bit about it yesterday, but the testing you guys did here a week ago, it seems to be paying off big time for this team this weekend so far, anyway.
Yeah, I would say so. It's paid dividends up to this point. Tomorrow's what matters, so we'll see, how beneficial it really was at the end of the weekend. But I think so far, we're pleased with what we got out of it.
Just some general thoughts about starting further back than what you were expected to with this, and then maybe a little bit what you can expect going into turn one tomorrow.
I don't know what to tell you, honestly. Here's different every year, so hopefully it's nothing too bad, but it can be chaotic here, and we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll see what happens. Questions in person, we've got a microphone or two, so if you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Meanwhile, let's start with a couple on Zoom. Ben Johnston, we'll start with you, Ben. Go ahead, sir.
Cheers, Dave. Hey, Josef. How important is it? Obviously, you have the grid penalty tomorrow, but how important is it for you to kind of be starting where you are, given that the likes of Scott Dixon and Marcus Ericsson are kind of out of position for the race?
Yeah, it's so hard to say. I don't know. There's been more times than not this year it's been good to start in the back, so I think it's impossible to say if it's good or not, being where we're at until we get to the end of tomorrow. But I feel like our cars are fast, which is a key ingredient to putting together a good race, so that brings a lot of confidence.
Excellent. Well, best of luck tomorrow and see you next week.
Thanks. Thank you, Ben.
Cheers, Dave.
Thanks, Ben. Any more questions here in person? Kevin, go ahead. Oh, wait for the mic. There you go.
How different was the track with it being cloudy and cool, and do you think you still have a good car for tomorrow with it being warmer?
Yeah, actually, I felt like we had more of an advantage yesterday when it was hot, oddly enough. We felt like we were going to be really good when it cooled off, but it seemed like it brought everyone more close together. So definitely very different balances, but I think we should be good in both. Judging off yesterday and today, that's promising for us.
Nathan Brown's going to join us. He's having Zoom problems, so let's wait for Nathan. He's in now. Nathan, if you're joining us, go ahead, unmute yourself if you have anything for Josef Newgarden.
Hey there, Josef. Starting back in 8th instead of your second where you qualified in second today. Is there anything that you can do for, talking to guys around you, or do you prepare for the start any differently, starting on the 4th row instead of the 2nd row?
I don't think so, not yet, not off the top of my head. We're going to run a similar race to what we'd probably do if we were up front, the first row. So, yeah, not off the top of my head. These races change very quickly dependent upon what happens, and until we see what happens, it's going to be hard to really strategize around the unknown. So you just got to be flexible.
Starting on the outside versus the inside, I've heard some guys talk about this weekend saying that maybe the inside is a little bit better place to be because crashes tend to maybe happen more on the outside with guys trying to bail out. Do you feel like there's anything to that? Is at least being on the outside, if you're back in row 4 instead of the front row, a better place to be than the inside?
Yeah, again, it's hard to know. I would think it'd be better to be on the inside, but depending on where you are, where the crash is happening, it could be good or bad. inside or out. So, yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just hoping we get a clean run through turn one regardless, though.
And last question, Joseph, for you. I think Will said on the Peacock broadcast just a couple minutes ago that he feels like this turn one is the toughest and hardest turn one in the series. Do you feel like that's correct?
It's definitely the most unpredictable, I can tell you that. So, when it goes according to plan, it's fine. But if more times than not, that doesn't happen. So, yeah, it's for sure the most unpredictable.
Awesome. Thanks, Joseph.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nathan. Any other follow-ups for Joseph? Otherwise, we will cut him loose. Bruce Martin, hang tight. We got a microphone too.
Joseph, your thoughts on the fact that even though it would be a long struggle for him to fight for the championship, how possible is it for a guy 54 points out to really get in the mix of it over 2 races?
I think it's wide open if you're asking me, but that's my opinion. I've seen this thing change, completely one race to the next. So I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. I think Scott's well within the championship fight, looking at his point situation. And I think he's a championship contender through and through, and he has been all year. So I wouldn't rule anything out, and I think we all got to be, on our game. And at the end of the day, we feel really good about, being together and having fast cars. I think the team's done an amazing job to give us these great cars to fight with, and should give us an opportunity as a team to push forward tomorrow.
And at the beginning of the weekend, I was asking if it's conceivable that all 3 of you could get into the top 5. Right now, I want to revise that. Can all 3 of you sweep the top 3 positions in the championship?
Anything's possible, Bruce. Anything, absolutely. There's, of course, it's possible. Of course, there's no doubt.
Can you 2 speak on that?
Anything is possible.
As long as it's mathematically
If you just
possible,
believe.
Bruce, it can happen.
Yeah. We're good, man.
And would you say that one of the keys to your resurgence this year as a team has been qualifying?
No, not just qualifying. I think it's been a team effort through and through. When you look at the individuals within the team, and I'm talking everybody, whether it's 3-car, the 12, the 2, across the board, the engineers, the mechanics. There's just a deep amount of talent, and I think it's only been strengthened. When you look at the talent across the board and the way that we're interacting, it's only been strengthened this year, and that's really what's raised the whole program. So I think that's why you see Team Penske as a whole, being very lifted this year, because it's good across the board, and that's due to all the hard work from everybody.
Anyone else for Joseph? Patrick?
Joseph, and then Will also. How scary is turn 1 going to be, considering where you are in the points? And I apologize if you guys have covered this already.
I don't know. It could be beautiful or it could be scary. I have no idea. We'll see.
And,
all right.
Will, you clearly watched the USF 2000 races this weekend. Does that add any extra fear seeing what happened there?
Yeah, those guys are starting real late, so I don't think that's the key. It bunches them all up. The pole sitter was taken out twice, 2 races in a row, lost in the championship. So honestly, I think they got to go. If they don't want to crash, pole sitter needs to go almost down to 12. Otherwise it's not.
Is that the answer? Just don't try and pack it up NASCAR stuff. Nope.
Yeah. Just means that people are going green through 12, so I'll have to lift and I'll just spread things out. But most of the field, it's such a bad corner, such an inviting wide corner, and down to a first gear corner. It's not ideal for the second last race of the season.
And with that, we're also joined by Scott McLaughlin, now a 3-time pole winner in his career, 3rd this season, matching the feat at St. Petersburg and Nashville. Scott this weekend driving the Freightliner, Team Penske Chevrolet, and the aforementioned Will Power as well, who actually bumps up to the front row for tomorrow's Grand Prix of Portland with the 6th front row start here in 2022. And Scott, just kind of kick us off with your thoughts about pole number 3 this season.
Yeah, really happy, Dave. It's obviously I knew coming in that we had pretty strong cars, race cars for Team Penske, and it was just really going to be, if we all do a good job, get to the fast six, and then hopefully we're battling each other, and that's sort of what happened. I sort of set our session up because we did 1 lap less on our red tyre in Q1, which really, helped. I did a pretty solid lap on my first flyer almost, and just having that little fresher tyre helped. I think my car got a little bit worse as the quali went on. We managed to tune it up for Q3 and managed to do a good enough lap for pole. So yeah, absolutely pumped. Straight line home race here in Portland. So I went and saw them at Dymo, during the week, and that was cool. Everyone's pumped. We've got a lot of people here, so really pumped to put the Freightliner car in front row at their home race.
David Ovas also points out there's a race within the race between you and Will Power, all-time pole record for Team Penske. You now have the lead once again. So
I didn't even know it.
I got told that. I didn't tell you. No.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's cool. I think anytime you beat Will in qualifying, it's a good thing.
It's been a good day, right?
Pretty good.
Yeah, not bad. All right, more questions for the two that will start in the front row tomorrow. Back to Bruce Martin here. Go ahead, Bruce.
Well, when Scott came over here, there was such expectations for him after what he did in Australia Supercars. This year, he's living up to those. So to add a driver the caliber of him to the lineup that you've had to face throughout your career, just how much does that make your job even more difficult?
Another tough team. Always at Penske you have tough teammates. You never don't have tough teammates. So I have to say this is probably the best group of drivers that have been there, the toughest, which is, we really push each other along. So yeah, they've got it's a strong combination, and as you can see in the championship and really the whole season, it shows what having drivers push each other does.
And Scott, when you were racking up wins and titles in Australia Supercars, what was your recollections and thoughts of Will Power, what a legend he is over here in IndyCar, and just what it's like now to have him as your teammate in a championship battle?
Yeah, well, Will's the only one on the team that actually understands me, which is a fantastic thing. So that's certainly, our relationship's quite good because of that. But no, I think, when I was growing up watching Will, like in the Team Australia Champ Car and, on the street surface, I always go talk to him about his lap. One of his laps that he was like a second quicker than anyone around Surf's Paradise. It was like unreal. And yeah, some of the laps and what he's done across, the sport of IndyCars, crazy, and that's why he's the all-time pollster and leading the championship. And it's like Will said. I think we've got a really good group at Penske in terms of just pushing each other. But not only that, we get along. There's a trust level. We trust each other's feedback. We ask each other like, what did you think of this? Did you get a good lap? And we're continually like pushing each other. To no end. And I think that's what a team needs. And I think that we've got a really good balance, competitive but respectful balance there, and I think that's what's really helping. Plus, all three cars are really the crew and everyone's working together really nice. It's just a good vibe right now, and it does help when you're fast, yes, but I think as a group we're just really bonding, and I can't see it slowing down. We're just going to keep working, and there's a lot of motivation there to continue to do that.
Chris Hardy.
Well, since Will understands you, hopefully tomorrow's fair dinkum at the start. Will, Scott Dixon starts 16th and Marcus Ericsson is 18th. Does that ease your mind at all for the start, or is it still just heavy tension at all?
It's a very tight championship, and if you've watched IndyCar, which you have a lot, you can never feel just safe that you've qualified well because it can just switch. So as you saw last year, Palou and Dixon pretty much at the back, and they came to finish on the first second or first third or something like this. So it all depends if there's a yellow at the start. If there's no yellow at the start, which would be a miracle, depending on where they start. Like if they start where they're talking about, if there's not a yellow, it doesn't push it towards that two-stop strategy, and you don't get guys at the back topping off and making it a difficult race. If it goes green, it becomes a bit more of a straightforward race and a track position race, and it makes it harder for those guys back there. So we're hoping that it stays green. I think it's the best for us.
Have y'all given a lot of input about what should happen with the start, or is it mostly a race control thing, or is y'all's input?
We gave them input at the Christmas meetings, and we suggested that they start on the back straight. So I'm not sure where the starting extremely late came from, because I think, I could understand that you don't get the toe effects, like you're not getting up to speed enough to get a toe effect, but the whole field just jam-packed tight there. If you had half the field in turn 12 when you went green, it's half the cars sort of spreading out, so it might be better just to go really early.
Thanks.
I think we might hear something by the end of the day, Will, on what you're talking about, so stand by on that. Patrick, we have no microphone for Pat. Thank you.
This is going to be off topic slightly. Last night got home doing some work in the hotel, and I noticed there's an Aussie Rules football game on. Did you guys happen to?
Which one?
I don't know.
Was it the final?
There's maybe 5,000 people there.
Well, my team lost this morning, so I'm not too happy about that. Crush your nose. So we were leading by 40 points, we lost it. So I woke up pretty sad this morning. This pumped me back up a little bit. I was sad.
Never met someone who watches so much sport. He watches soccer, you watch rugby, right?
Yeah, American football.
College, he's into the whole thing.
Yeah.
Sports.
We'll cut that out.
Did either one of you play that growing up? I watched most of the games. Pretty violent.
I played rugby league. I never played AFL. I don't even know the rules of AFL. So I played rugby league.
Yeah,
it's a much better game, rugby.
Yeah, I played rugby union and AFL when I was younger, and then I was getting bashed up, and I needed to focus on my racing career, so I gave that up.
Let's take some off Zoom. David Turner, you can probably add to the rugby discussion. Go ahead.
Well, I can, and this will cheer up Scott McLaughlin anyway. All Blacks last night against Argentina and Hamilton, 53-3, so that was not a bad turnaround for them.
Thank God. They need a rocket up their butt, but it's all good.
Yeah, they needed it. Question for both of you guys. I'll start with you, Scotty. First of all, congratulations, another pole position this year. Great season. How beneficial was the test that you guys had at Portland in contributing to that factor?
Well, I think just being able to rock up here with, a philosophy that you believe in, and then just massaging it throughout the weekend has been, vital. We weren't stellar here last year as a team, and we needed to, we called this test, early in the year that we were going to come here. Hopefully we get to Laguna and our cars aren't too bad, and we made the right choice coming here and focusing on that, and we have a good race tomorrow. But it's been vital in terms of just being able to get a nice base, and then just, like I said, massaging it and getting better as a driver and pushing the limits. And I think going 1, 2, 3 in qualifying was a good testament to that.
Yeah, no, great stuff. And then, Will, just to you, just quickly, we talked about this last year several times when things were a bit tough on the Penske, shall we say, and we talked again at Indianapolis this year, and the captain's moral of hard work equals rewards. So what we're seeing now really is the contribution of almost what we were talking about 18 months ago. The hard work is now starting to pay off for Team Penske, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, nothing much has changed on the road street course side of things. Even the only thing the thing that we worked on hardest was the Indy 500. But honestly, last year we just had a lot of weird, unfortunate circumstances that resulted in the team not getting many wins. And this year it just seems like we're executing on all fronts. In the pits, on strategy, obviously car setups, and they're really we haven't found something magical. It's just doing solid work, and probably had Scott in his second year help as well. We've got another guy giving good feedback and good data with his driving. So just as a group as a whole, we're just stronger on all aspects, but nothing magical was found. We didn't really go into last season saying we were off the pace. We just had kind of a bad year.
Well, congratulations to both of you in terms of the front row, and that puts you in a great position for tomorrow to at least see the green before everyone else, and look forward to seeing that. Very sorry I can't be there to be with you all, but have a great and safe race.
Thank you.
Thinking about you, David. Thanks for joining us. Let's take one more. Nathan Brown from the Indianapolis Star. Go ahead, Nathan.
Couple questions. First one for Will. Will, you said on the qualifying broadcasts on Peacock after the Fast Six finished up that you felt like turn one here was either the toughest or the most unpredictable turn one that you guys have done in this series. What is it about this turn here to start this race on lap one that just has made it so tough to get through green without any major incidents these last few years?
Yeah, it's a super wide straight that leads into a first gear corner. I mean, it's a similar Indianapolis, but yeah, I mean, and honestly, at Indianapolis road course, the same thing happens. But yeah, this one in particular, it's just.
I think it's just grass.
Yeah, it's a bit of grass to go off, and
there's no cars.
Yeah, but you got cement, so I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's just.
But I mean, it invites people to just bomb the home so they get straight through.
Yeah.
But maybe now, because the chicane's actually harder to get through. I saw VK, he went down the escape road today in front of me.
Yeah.
And he, come out behind me. So there's no advantage.
Yeah. I just hope everyone, you want everyone to behave, but yeah, someone's going to get a good run and be like, okay, I've got a good run, and there's always room on the inside, and then they're used to braking on the very outside of the track. It's super wide, so obviously your 90 degrees is going to be much sharper, so you're going to have to brake way earlier than you had been. So I think that's probably most of the issue.
We've banged on about it for 2 weeks, so hopefully get down in the braking zone, someone just goes and go, oh, I found grip, got to bomb down the inside. You might do something, I might do something.
Yeah, I know, you can't, you just don't know. You don't know, yeah.
It's all red mist just sings.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't tell other people, just be careful, but you could be yourself.
For Scott, I know it seems like from seeing a couple tweets from you and a couple interviews, I think yesterday on Peacock, you've certainly taken some motivation from people feeling like you're completely counted out of this, even though you're mathematically still alive for the title. Is that something that is that kind of an actual thing that you feel like is kind of driving you right now, or something you've just kind of been, maybe just kind of acknowledging but not really taking to heart too much this week?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I'm just trying to miss it. That's basically for me on my Twitter. It's just, I just take the piss out of everything. So it's, mathematically I'm still in it. And when you say there's only 5 contenders, it's wrong. So, but that's all right. We're all good. It's a great promotion. I think what the best part about what we've got right now for IndyCar and everything, and what we should be celebrating is how close it is, how close it is between Josef and Will and whatever. I don't count myself out of it. No, I think anything can happen. If I win tomorrow, who knows what will happen, and we'll find out. So, it's going to be fun.
What kind of gap do you have to chisel down to for mom and dad to make it out to Laguna next weekend?
Yeah, I don't know. They said that they might make it out, but I don't think they will. I think Dad's pretty. He's with his cows and hanging out at home, so I think he's just going to watch at home on his TV.
Understandable. He sees more. You both.
He sees more there anyway, so.
Thanks, Nathan. Let's wrap it up in person. Bruce Martin, the follow-up. Go ahead, Bruce.
Scott, you've got your own dynamic with Josef as one of the bus pros. Your dynamic with Will's a little different. He's the senior driver, elder statesman. What's your relationship like with him in terms of he's won a championship before in IndyCar, and so has Joseph won too, but yet, his longevity is very impressive. So do you kind of look up to him a little bit as like the team leader?
Yeah, I think absolutely. He's definitely the oldest one, but no, he's a very wise fella. We enjoy. We have plenty of chats. Like I said before, we all get along. Us three, it's. Yeah, we're in the bus stop, we hang out, we always park next to each other. It's just me and Joseph did this bus bros thing. It wasn't like we were trying to separate ourselves, but look, it's one of those deals where, I think I've got great teammates to lean off, and I couldn't have asked for 2 better blokes to help me get better through the off season. Any question I ask, there was times last year I rang Will after a race and just said I don't know what I'm doing. He's like, no, it'll come, man. Every rookie season's hard, and things change and things will go up and down, but it'll click, And and that's a testament to the bloke he is, to the bloke Joseph is. There's no hiding. Yeah, we're competitive. We probably do hide a couple of things from each other, but at the same time, it's just that competitiveness, and it's a respect, and I think we all have that for each other.
Are you Uncle Scott to vote?
No. But I think my dog is like his favourite person. Yeah. That's it.
Patrick.
I noticed that the two of you, when you're just the two of you, you do speak a different language than when you're here separated. You guys do you get caught on that sometimes?
What's that?
They say that we speak a different language when we're together, but when we're separate.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we talk a bit Aussie when we're together.
It's funny because he laughs if I say like something.
Oh yeah, real. I've been over here so long; it's just refreshing to hear like a real Australian thing.
Well,
it's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Pretty decent.
There's heaps.
Oh, I've got heaps of grip, mate.
It's good. We're fun, having fun, having a laugh. Sweet.
Great. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Scott McLaughlin, willpower.